Alright everyone, welcome back to the unboxing of the Retron 5. Let me just zoom in here and we'll show you what's going on. So again, this is for Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Original, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, SNES, NES, Genesis, and Famicom. Okay, we've already gone over this. You got the graphical user interface, original controller ports, audio video enhancement, HDMI output, multiple system compatibility, wireless controller, 2 NES ports, 2 SNES ports, 2 Genesis ports. Okay, let's turn it over to the side here. Let's see what it says here. Zoom out here. Multiple system compatibility, wireless controller, audio video enhancement, HDMI output, graphical user interface, original controller ports, retron5.com. On the top, same deal. On this side, same deal. Let's go to the back. On the back, okay, this is what it says. Here we go. Alright. Retro Reloaded. The Retron 5 brings retro gaming to the HD era. Play your classic cartridges like never before with enhanced graphics and sound, screenshot capability, and save anywhere capabilities. Multiple system compatibility. The Retron 5 allows you to play your favorite NES, SNES, Super Famicom, Genesis, Mega Drive, Famicom, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance cartridges on one system. You can also play Master System games with the use of the power-based converter. Graphical user interface, or GUI. A brand new GUI menu that gives access to features and the ability to customize your entire gaming experience on the screen. HDMI output. The HDMI output up converts the signal to your HDTV with a maximum output resolution of 720p. Save load states. Is that what it says? Save load states, yep. Oh, we're in the French there. Save load states. Save or load your game at any point during gameplay with 10 save slots for each game. Video enhancement. Customize your video settings with a variety of different filters and shader effects, including scan lines. Audio enhancement. Utilizing audio interpolation, the Retron 5 produces a smoother, crisper sound output. You got cheats, pre-built cheats that can be accessed at any point during gameplay for most games. Wireless controller. The controller utilizes wireless technology and has a range of up to 30 feet. It features a micro switch, directional pad, 2 programmable macro buttons, and a home button for quick in-game access to features. Original controller ports. 2 original controller ports, or 6 total for each platform. Compatibility. The Retron 5 will play both PAL and NTSC cartridges. CIC lockout chips and FX chips are no longer going to be an issue, as we aim to achieve 100% compatibility with all cartridges. The Retron 5 includes Retron 5 console, 1 HDMI cable, 1 wireless controller, 1 AC adapter with 4 variable head sockets. So I'm going to put this back down here. Okay, I'm going to zoom out. And let's see what happens when we open this fucker up. Okay, let's move that over here. Let's see what we got going on. Okay, so actually I probably should have grabbed a pen for this. So let's see what the hell's going on when I get my pen. So I put over here, trusty pen. Alright. So, anyway, does something, hopefully. I don't know. Let's get this done. Here we go. And this should open now. Let's see what happens. Yep, there we go. Boom. I'm just going to slide it out real gently. There we go. It's about as gently as I'm going to get it. Alright, let's see what we got. Okay, this looks to be like the wireless controller for the Retron. Let me take it out of its bag here. Yeah. Most likely I'll use the original controllers. That's most likely what I'll do. So there you go. Feels weird, man. So it feels like a weird... it's alright, I guess. So let's put that back in its baggie. Okay. Hold on now. Here we are. Alright. Under the controller we have the, looks like HDMI or USB cables And this is the HDMI cable. Just put that back in there. The controller back on top. Here you have the AC adapter. And you have, I assume this is to mount the system. I don't know what the hell this is, honestly, but whatever. Throw that in there. And then you got the system itself, okay? And this is, let's see what the system looks like here. Okay, take it out of its bubble wrap. And this is what this thing looks like. So you got the HDMI right there. You have an SD card, USB, AC adapter. Looks like the back of it, or the front of it, if you will, but the back of it. Here's the front of it. So you got the power button. Game Boy Advance games go right in there. I assume Game Boy also goes in there. Let's see. Yeah, looks like it. So Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color games go right there, I imagine. And then here are the controller ports. You got Genesis, NES, and SNES right here. I don't know if you can see that. It's listed right there. And then also you have controller ports right here for the other. And then on here, it shows you where the Famicom games would go, the NES, the SNES, and the Genesis. Now I got the black colored Retron 5. There was a gray version. I wanted the black one. I think it looks better. And then on the bottom, real simple stuff there. So let's put this back in. And I pray to God that this does work with an Elgato. I've researched it. It says it does. We'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens. I pray to God it does. If not, I'm going to have to figure out how the hell I'm going to record off of this thing. But I'll figure that out later. And then here's the Retron 5 instruction manual. And it comes with, looks like stickers. Retron 5 for GBA, SNES, NES, Genesis, Famicom, Hyperkin, Play Well, Live Well, Hyperkin, Play Well, Live Well, decals. Let's throw this back in the bag. Let's go to the instruction booklet. Let's see what we have in the instruction booklet. Any decent stuff. For additional information, please visit www.retron5.com. I think I went to the Hyperkin website and it says it did work with an Elgato. I'm almost positive. You got a thing. So thank you for your purchase of the Retron 5. Experience all of your classics in HD glory and interpolated audio. The Retron 5 plays NES, Famicom, SNES, Super Famicom, Master System with the Power Base converter, Genesis, Mega Drive, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance with HDMI output, improved interpolated sound, screenshot capture, and the ability to have on-the-fly save states. The Retron 5 is a retro gaming console that brings you back to a world where recharging health is cheating. You can have as many guns as you want, and achievements aren't just some numbers on the screen. Be sure to keep up to date with the latest news and firmware at www.retron5.com. Then it just shows you the front and the back of the console. That is the Game Boy Color and Game Boy, original Game Boy, what do you call it? Slot, if you will. So it looks here, it says the play settings. The settings menu has 4 categories: video, audio, controllers, and system. So when you go to video, image filter, there are several different filter settings you can choose from to enhance the video output. Scan lines enables a row of lines in a raster scanning pattern that was prevalent on CRT TV and monitor displays. This filter emulates the feel of playing your games on an older model TV. You can toggle this feature on or off anytime during gameplay. Aspect ratio. Users will be able to change the aspect ratio settings between 3 different settings. You have normal, which frames the 4:3 video to 16:9 picture area by displaying it in its original aspect ratio with vertical black bars on both sides of the screen. Stretch progressively stretches a picture horizontally, resulting in the entire 16:9 screen being used to display the game without any black bars at the sides. However, this comes at the expense of a slightly altered aspect ratio. And zoom evenly stretches the picture both horizontally and vertically until the picture fills the entire width of the screen and crops out the top and the bottom of the picture. Overscan. CRT TVs used during the era of classic gaming did not actually display the entire image provided by game consoles, but rather cropped a small border on each side of the image. Turning overscan on will cause Retron 5 to reproduce this behavior by cropping the outside border of the displayed image. Turning overscan off will display the full image area, ensuring that every last pixel is visible. Force original resolution. When on, the game displays with its original resolution, however may not fill the whole HD TV. When off, the game is scaled to fit the entire HD TV. Screen refresh rate. The number of times in a second that a display hardware redraws a screen image. There are two main TV encoding systems, NTSC and PAL. NTSC produces a picture frequency of 60 Hz, and PAL produces a picture frequency of 50 Hz. You got match game. The Retron 5 will automatically detect the region the game is from and produce a picture frequency that matches the cartridge. Force 60 Hz. Selecting this option will have all games run at a frequency of 60 Hz regardless of their region encoding, and Force 50 Hz. Selecting this option will have all games run at a frequency of 50 Hz regardless of their region encoding. Screen size. Users are able to manually adjust the screen size with the slider. You got audio sound enhancement. Turning this feature on will enable audio interpolation, a method of taking the original audio sample and creating higher quality sample, thereby creating a cleaner, smoother audio output. You got the bass boost. Turning this feature on will enhance the level of the audio tones of low frequency. Treble boost. Turning this feature on will enhance the level of audio tones of high frequency. GUI sound effects. Turning this feature on will enable sound effects and transitions within the user interface. And volume. Users are able to adjust the volume output with the slider. The controller. Manage Retron 5 controllers. Pair controller. Pair any Retron 5 wireless controller to the console. Left shortcut button. Change and map the left macro button of the Retron 5 wireless to the desired command. Right shortcut button. Change and map the right macro button of the Retron 5 wireless to the desired command. Controller auto off. Set the duration for which the controller will power off when idle. Power off. Turn off any Retron 5 wireless controller connected to the console. Controller to player mapping. Retron 5 supports a sophisticated controller mapping system whereby you can manually select which of the wired and wireless controllers to assign to each player. This allows you to create a virtual multi-tap, for example. If playing a 4-player SNES title, you may assign wired controller SNES port 1 to player 1, SNES port 2 to player 2, Genesis port 1 to player 3, and the Retron 5 wireless controller to player 4. To assign controllers for each system, use System Playing to select the system you wish to configure controllers for. Each system type has its own configuration. Use the D-pad up-down buttons to select the player number you wish to assign. Then on the individual controller you wish to assign to that particular player, press the A and plus button. Button mapping. Retron 5 also supports a powerful button remapping system, which allows you to configure customized mappings between buttons on your physical controllers and the corresponding buttons on the target system. For example, you may decide that for playing NES titles, you wish to use the SNES controller and remap the SNES controller Y to NES B, SNES controller X to NES A, etc. Button mappings are created as profiles, each of which specifies a relationship between a single type of physical controller and a single target system. System playing. Select the game system you wish to play. Controller used. Select the physical controller used for that system. Current profile. Select the current profile you wish to use. Manage profiles. From here you may add a new profile, view the default button mapping, and or edit, remove an existing profile. To add or edit a button mapping profile, use the D-pad to configure your new button mapping and then press B to save, or B and minus to save your changes and return to the previous menu. For a video tutorial on configuring the controller, you can check out http://youtube.com/hyperkingames. Hotkey configuration. The Retron 5 allows users to create shortcuts for common features such as opening the in-game menu, enabling fast-forward mode, and saving loading states, which may be activated during gameplay with a button combination on the wired controllers. Select the button combination to activate each of these features during gameplay. Controller used. Indicate what controller you are using. In-game menu, choose a hotkey combination. For fast-forwarding gameplay, you can fast-forward gameplay at any time. The feature speeds up gameplay in order to skip long animations or text conversations in game. Save state. Choose a hotkey combination for save states. You can store a save state anytime during gameplay. Load save state. Choose a hotkey combination for loading a save state. You can load a save state anytime during gameplay. The last save state will be loaded unless you select another slot in the in-game menu. Screenshot. Choose a hotkey combination for screenshots. You can take a screenshot at any time during gameplay. Note, most of these features are also available for use from within the in-game menu at any time during gameplay. System, console region. The Retron 5 gives you the option to automatically select the region based on the current game. For example, the USA region will be selected for USA cartridges, but also allows you to manually select between 3 different regions: USA, Europe, and Japan. Auto load last state. The Retron 5 has the ability to save the game at any point during gameplay. By toggling this feature on, users will be able to start the game where they last left off upon launching the game from the main menu. Toggling this feature off will result in the game loading from the beginning to the game's title screen. Auto start cartridge on insertion. With this feature on, Retron 5 will automatically begin playing a cartridge on insertion. Toggling this off will mean that you will need to manually select play from the main menu to begin gameplay after inserting a cartridge. Automatically import saves on first run. Retron 5 has the ability to read save game data stored on your original cartridges. With this option on, the first time you insert a particular cartridge that contains save game data, this will be automatically imported from the original cartridge, and when you begin playing this game via Retron 5, your previous save game will be intact. Save data location. The Retron 5 has the ability to save your games on either the internal storage or an SD card. File Manager. This option allows you to manage files on both the internal storage and SD card, either copying from one location to the other or removing files in order to free up space. Show Retron quick info on startup. During this feature on will cause the quick info screen to be displayed on boot. The quick info screen shows the current button combinations for opening the in-game menu, as well as the current save data location. Turning this feature off disables the quick info screen, meaning on boot the user will be brought directly to the main menu. System information. Displays the version information for your Retron 5 system, including system software version, application version, and hardware version, as well as displaying the status, total capacity, and free space of both internal storage and any connected SD card. Write update request to SD. Updates will be available to improve upon the firmware found on Retron5.com, where minor issues can be fixed, compatibility issues can be remedied, and new features can be added. For a video tutorial on updating your unit's firmware, visit http://www.youtube.com/hyperkingames. Insert an SD card into the Retron 5's SD card slot. Select Write Update Request to SD. The update request file will be written to your SD card. This file will be required in order to obtain the update for your Retron 5 system. Remove the SD card from Retron 5. Connect to your PC via an SD reader. You will find a file named Retron Update Request.dat on your SD card. Copy this to your PC. Log into http://www.retron5.com. Locate the latest firmware update, and when requested, browse your PC and select the Retron Update Request.dat file, which you previously copied from the SD card. A download of a file named retronupdate.bin will begin. Once completed, copy this file to the root of your SD card. This means do not place it in any folders directories. Safely remove the SD from your PC and insert it back into the Retron 5's SD slot. If your Retron 5 is not already turned on, turn it on now. You will be presented with a message explaining that an update has been found on the SD card. Select Install to begin the update procedure. You got the game menu. Cartridge must be inserted in order to access the game menu. Cheats. The Retron 5 comes with support for cheat codes that can be accessed and activated any time during gameplay. If cheat codes are available for the currently inserted cartridge, you may toggle individual cheats on and off. Note, the cheat codes are available as a database files that must be downloaded separately and copied to your SD card. They are not bundled with Retron 5 itself. So that kind of sucks. What that basically means is if I want to cheat in games, I have to download that shit to the SD card and then put it right onto the Retron 5. Copy save to Retron 5. The Retron 5 will allow you to save your games onto the internal storage as well as the SD card. By doing this, users will be able to extract their saves via the SD card and store them onto their PC. This will also allow for users to exchange saves among other owners of the Retron 5. Copy save to cartridge. The Retron 5 will allow you to transfer your saves from the internal storage of the SD card to your cartridge, allowing you to play your games without losing your save on any other console or handheld. That's a pretty cool feature. So basically, if I was on a Genesis and I was playing Streets of Rage and I saved it, which was impossible back then, but let's assume you could, okay, and then I put it on the Retron 5, it'll automatically load the last save. Vice versa. I'm going to take my save on the Retron 5 and copy it to a internal storage on the game itself, and then when I put it in the actual Genesis, it'll start from where I left off. The in-game menu. Access the in-game menu by pressing the home button on the Retron 5 wireless controller. You have a save state slot. Choose one of 10 different slots for which the game's current state will save to or load from. Save state. Save the game in its current state to the chosen save slot. Load state. Load the chosen save slot. Filter. Toggle the current video filter in-game. Scan lines. Toggle scan lines on and off in-game. Take screenshots. Save the current game's display frame as a screenshot onto your SD card. Volume. Control the level of the game volume. Return to main menu. Quits the game and returns to the main menu of the Retron 5. Reset. Restarts the current game. You have the Retron 5 wireless controller, which also has a micro USB port on it, which is pretty nice. Each Retron 5 includes a Retron 5 wireless controller, which has a playable distance of up to 30 feet without losing sync, and a rechargeable lithium battery that can be charged through any mini USB port via the micro USB cable. Users will be able to pair up to 4 Retron 5 wireless controllers to a single system. The controller has a micro switch, directional pad, 6 face buttons, 2 shoulder buttons, a start and select button, 4 LED light indicators, 2 macro buttons, and a home button. The home button, at any point during the game, the user is able to access the in-game menu by pressing the home button. This button is also used to pair a controller to the console. Macro buttons. On the top left and top right of the controller, users will be able to program features and in-game button combinations and map them to these buttons. 4 LED light indicators. These lights let the user know what player slot the controller is synced to. Here, you can pair and controller to Retron 5 consoles. You go to Settings, Manage Retron 5 Controller, Pair Controller. Press and hold the home button on the controller you wish to pair until its 4 LEDs start flashing. The user interface will display a dialog informing you if the pairing was successful or not. Once a controller is paired with the console, a sync is created. Subsequently, you may connect the controller to the console simply by briefly pressing any one of the buttons, which will cause the controller to initiate a connection. You will not need to pair a controller again. If you want to charge the battery, insert the micro USB cable into the micro USB port on the controller. Insert the other end of the micro USB cable into the mini USB port on the Retron 5. The LED light indicator will start to blink. For troubleshooting, watch our YouTube videos at http://youtube.com/hyperkingames or contact us at support@hyperkin.com. Retron 5 for the GBA, SNES, NES, Genesis, Famicom, www.hyperkin.com. Hyperkin, play well, live well. So there you go. That's the Hyperkin Retron 5. I'm excited to finally have it. What I'm going to be doing is playing pretty much all my retro games on it, obviously, and I'll hopefully be able to record videos and upload it straight to YouTube. So for those of you who like Let's Plays, for those of you who want to see retro games in action and don't have the ability to see them or want to see me play them, you're going to be able to see it. So thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, comment. You know the drill. Remember, Wednesday, Fantasy Football Week number 4 with McLovin. Also, Fantasy Football on Wednesday, as you all know. And Scratch Ticket Thursday makes its triumphant return on Thursday with Kenny. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.